What's the ACLU suing Texas over now? It's December 19th, 2023, and these are your headlines. Governor Greg Abbott signed 3 new measures into law yesterday designed to assist law enforcement in dealing with the ongoing border crisis. Oh, but the ACLU is already suing, of course. During the past special legislative session, lawmakers passed 2 measures dealing with border security. You had Senate Bill 3, which provides funding for border barrier infrastructure, walls, the buoys, etc., while Senate Bill 4 makes it a crime to enter the state illegally. Now, in Brownsville yesterday, Abbott ceremonially signed both measures into law. The measures will go into effect on March 6th. He also ceremonially signed Senate Bill 4 from the 3rd special legislative session. I know, 2 Senate Bill 4s. They're from different special sessions, so they're both called Senate Bill 4. Are you confused yet? All you need to know is that legislation increases the criminal penalties for human smuggling and operating a stash house. Now, at the signing, Governor Abbott criticized the Biden administration for the ongoing crisis. He highlighted the decisions to end the Trump-era policies that were effective on the border and the deliberative inaction that has left Texas to fend for itself. Governor Abbott highlighted the national security threat of the ongoing crisis and mentioned the 294 people on the terrorist watch list who have been apprehended crossing the border under President Biden. When questioned on the constitutionality of SB 4 from the 4th special session, Abbott said it had been crafted in a way that can and should be upheld by the courts. He was also asked what Texas would do if Mexico refuses to accept individuals Texas sends back across the border. In response, he said Mexico can stop all of this. Well, like clockwork, the American Civil Liberties Union of Texas, the ACLU, and the Texas Civil Rights Project have filed a lawsuit to challenge that landmark border security legislation. The ACLU filed the lawsuit on behalf of Las Americas Immigrant Advocacy Center, the American Gateways, and the County of El Paso. In the lawsuit, the ACLU argues that the legislation violates the supremacy clause of the United States Constitution, which declares that federal law is superior to state law. They claim that SB 4 is an attempt to regulate immigration matters that are, quote, exclusively reserved to the federal government. The Constitution, of course, also states that states have the power to repel invasions on their own. The lawsuit asks that the court declare that SB 4 is entirely unlawful and preliminarily and permanently enjoin Stephen McGraw, who's the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety, from enforcing the measure. Unless the court rules and halts the enforcement of Senate Bill 4, it will go into effect March 5th, 2024. A majority of students in Texas's government schools continue to perform below grade level. That's according to the latest data released by the Texas Education Agency. So what does the new report say? Well, it shows that more than half of all students statewide fail to meet grade level standards on the state's standardized academic achievement test, known as STAR. One Central Texas mom called the data disappointing and very concerning. How disappointing? Well, just 49% of Texas students met or exceeded grade level across all grades and all subjects during the 22-23 school year. The report's academic performance ratings for grade 4 showed just 48% of students read at grade level, a decline from last year's 54%. The STAR test is designed, this is what they say, to measure the extent to which a student has learned and is able to apply the defined knowledge and skills in the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills at each tested grade, subject, and course. Now, it hasn't been without its controversy, and certainly there's been a lot of criticism about the STAR test. Governor Abbott proposed legislation to phase out the controversial test, but lawmakers failed to pass the education reform package because it included a limited education savings account program.
If you're not watching the Luke Macias Show, then you are not as engaged as everybody else is in Texas who's trying to make a difference, knowing exactly what's going on so that they can take action on the things that really matter. Guys, watch us on the Roku app for Texas Scorecard. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Get engaged, get more informed, so together we can actually make a bigger difference on things that matter for the future of Texas. God bless you.
Lastly, Tomball ISD's top administrator has been named a finalist for a National Superintendent of the Year award by a government education advocacy group that promotes leftist ideology. Martha Salazar Zamora, who has served as Tomball ISD Superintendent since 2017, was announced as one of the 4 finalists for the award from AASA, which is essentially the School Superintendents Association, formerly known as the American Association of School Administrators. The group advocates for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and COVID-19 vaccinations for young children, for example. The group also supported the Safer Communities Act, which was gun control legislation that funded mental health programs in schools. A post from the organization's page on X, or Twitter, shared that the new COVID-19 vaccination is authorized for children as young as 6 months old. The post encouraged everyone to go get vaccinated. Another post shared how the group was disappointed that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of a high school football coach who prayed with his team on the 50-yard line. That coach had faced backlash from the school district, who said that the act could be perceived as a school endorsement of religion. Salazar Zamora is also the Texas Association of School Administrators president-elect. TASA is a taxpayer-funded organization that often works in favor of school districts to the detriment of parents and students. The winner of the award will be announced at the organization's National Conference on Education in February. You can see more of today's stories at TexasScorecard.com.